again? I cut out.
Maya bought me a transport.
Yes. Woo. Okay, so highlight for today, I'd have to say one of them at least was having that girl just like look at me in the middle of dealers, like staring me down and being like,
her eyes
are white.
Like white.
And just was like very obvious, and this was like a little girl who was like maybe 10 to 12 and was looking at me and was just like obviously staring at me like, and I'm like, this sweet little baby angel.
This sweet little baby angel.
Also getting to know her to run for pictures because I'm a freaking weeb. I loved getting pictures of Hinata, so summary for the day is I'm a real weeb now. You can classify me as a real weeb.
I mean, you were a real weeb before.
I know, but like...
I know what you mean though. Not to downplay your prior weebiness.
Not to downplay your prior weebiness, but...
Because it was there.
Oh, it's definitely there.
Oh,
I keep thinking about how bad I'm gonna have to rearrange my walls.
And the rest of them, but I really care about Urushihara because it's me.
I'm gonna have to rearrange my walls so bad, it's just gonna be a whole time.
Can I provide some constructive criticism for Megacon 2018?
Oh my gosh, let's.
This was $4. $4 for a bottle of Pepsi. You know how much a bottle of soda costs at Disney World? Well, a fountain, I never get bottles. A fountain soda is $3.29. I think it's like maybe 20 cents more or so. And that's at Disney World. Bottled waters at Disney World are $3. Here, they are $3.25. I don't even like Pepsi. I mean, I know I still bought it, but that's because I'm caffeine dependent.
Like all weekend, but...
And I didn't even, well, because yesterday when I got Taste of Asia, I literally got one spring roll, which was $2, and then a Pepsi. So when they told me my total, it was $6. And I was like, what? And then I realized today, oh, it's because the Pepsi was $4. Wow. See, I'm literally the face of capitalism, and I'm like, that's a little messed up.
So one criticism I have for Megacon, because we're just doing this.
Yeah, let's spill some tea.
We're just doing this. We'll spill the tea right now.
Spill some tea.
Staff needs to learn how to treat people better.
Yeah. It wasn't as bad as last year.
Like, it wasn't as bad.
It wasn't as bad as last year.
I will give them that it was not as bad as last year, because last year we encountered nothing but horrible staff.
We encountered more nice people this year, like more polite people
at least
this year than last year, because last year there was literally like one out of like a lot.
Yeah.
But this year it was still...
This year there were a couple people that were just completely rude. The one girl that kicked us... Okay, so where I filmed my dance cover and where Artie and Xaranda were filming while I was changing into Kagome, there was a staff member that kicked us out. A security officer that kicked us out of the floor after we had been there for a whole almost 2 hours. Almost 2 hours we had been there, and she kicked us out.
And I was there for an hour with a couple of my friends the day before I was in that exact same location.
So they kicked us out of this so this
there's
security officer kicked us out, and there's nothing that says that we can't go up there.
And
there was no problem with us being up there. So
there were other security guards passing through the area.
Yeah, that's the one thing that got me was it would have been one thing if the first security officer was like, "Hey, you guys can't be here. You're not allowed." Then I'd be like, "Okay, I understand. We'll leave." But this lady was just like, "Get out. You're not allowed to be here." to like everybody on the floor, and there had been other security officers that had very obviously seen us but didn't say anything. So, and then there was like
And again,
another thing that I forgot that happened. I just remember that there was a lady that was rude.
for me, it's literally the way it is handled. Because I understand you have to follow policy. Like, we're both CMs. We're very aware
That there are
about-
policies.
That there are policies, and like, you don't make the rules. Your job is
You
to enforce them.
them.
But just be polite about it, because that was my thing.
That's the
Like,
one thing
'cause it
about
was
like most
yeah, it didn't
most of
really
the
make
staff members here is
Yeah.
that like if they say it's a policy, that's one thing, because like I get policies. But when you don't,
no one says please. No one uses a like pleasant tone of voice.
they're just
they
like
just tell you to move.
You can tell that they're sick and tired of all the people that they've had to deal with, and I don't care how many people you've had to deal with.
Yeah, because I have to
You
deal
do
with tons
not.
of annoying people every day too.
You
But
do
if
not
If I
ever.
spoke to, like, if I was at work and if I spoke to a Disney guest the way that security guard told us to leave, like, I would get reprimanded. I would 100% get reprimanded.
Oh, I know that if I'd ever that, and especially because
Even if,
my job is
like, a guest
one
is
more that's
screaming
over
at
the
me.
phone.
Yeah.
Tone is so key.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
when they don't speak to you with a certain tone of voice, if I were to speak to somebody at my job in that tone of voice, I would get in so much trouble because, and I get that this is like a weekend thing, but they really need to train their staff that you need to treat other people with respect, or maybe they assume that it's like a common sense kind of thing that like you treat people with respect, but whatever. So, moving on.
I mean,
You gotta
once
tell
again,
me
it
stuff.
was not as bad as last year, but we still
Yeah.
had some unfortunate run-ins that.
Highlight for today and summary of today.
Okay, this is gonna be not a shock at all when I tell you, but probably, truthfully, the highlight of this day was seeing that dog. That was where
Literally
the
no
Jake
one was
bunny-
surprised.
Listen, like my face.
Just
I was so happy
Oh,
when I
my
saw that
goodness.
dog. Okay. Also, when you gave me that Jungkook stuff, because best. Let me just.
best boy.
He.
He.
I'm love.
I know.
Okay. And
Summary.
summary of today.
That's it.
My muscle in my thigh
Don't
So you slap it?
is screaming.
Well, you just like slapped the crap out of
No,
it. So
it didn't even hurt. I just if I tried to get up right now, I don't think I'd be able to.
well,
I'd struggle.
Struggling. Would
I have to figure out which leg I need to use to put pressure on to get on the ground, much less to get off the ground. So that's my summary. My thighs, specifically my right thigh, is screaming.
so you smack it. Okay. Artie,
Yes.
now we do summary and
I
highlight
did my summary into my
for
highlight.
the
Oh, the
whole
whole-
con.
Oh no.
It's time for y'all to think back on what happened over the whole weekend.
Y'all weren't here for this, but highlight of the whole con was when me, Mariah, and Darcy, who were all cosplaying from the SpongeBob musical, found Squidward and Mr. Krabs from the SpongeBob musical and just had like a mini group photo shoot. That was I was saying, like, when we were made aware of their presence and were looking for them, I was just like, this, if we find them, it will make my whole con. And shock surprise, it made my whole con.
Shock surprise.
And then summary of the whole con is just like, it was good. I feel like it was very like low key. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean like it was for the most part not very stressful. You know, I didn't have like crazy cosplays or photo shoots went by pretty quick because they're gonna like mini photo shoots. Oh, the Crystal Gems panel is my other highlight.
That was
of the
really
weekend.
good.
That's my other highlight of the weekend. That was so good. When Susan Egan came out and we all just started screaming.
I knew it was Susan Egan. I was like, what the is her last name? And I couldn't. I said,
well, because when no, it's fine. Because when they were being like, oh, we have one more chair, like implying that they were about to bring out a special guest.
Yeah.
I thought it would be, I don't remember her name, but I thought it would be Peridot's voice actor. So when they said Susan Egan, I was like,
I didn't know her, like I knew her last name was Egan, but it wasn't registering. I was like, I want to say Susan Egan, but I don't know if it's Susan Egan.
yeah, I've known about Susan Egan forever because Megara and Broadway Belle, OG Broadway Belle. Yeah, she voices Megara in Hercules.
What?
Yeah. Look, watch Hercules again. You will hear Rose. They have that same like.
Look at the Kyrie.
What? Oh.
And the soul.
Oh, I love.
How is it that we always see a Kyrie on Sunday?
I know.
Like this is the second year in a row.
It's my
we've
main
seen
ID.
Kyrie
Maybe
on
next
Sunday.
Sunday. Next year.
Next
Sunday.
Sunday. Literally
If
next
If
week.
I did Kyrie, I would. You're cosplaying literally my favorite character of all time, so that means a lot. I love y'all. Have a blessed evening.
What did they
I'm
say?
so glad. She said,
How
I love your cosplay, and I didn't know who she was talking to, and then she said, how bad can you possibly be?
And I was like,
That was my highlight of my
y'all
week.
witnessed that.
Y'all witnessed that.
How bad can you be?
Okay, I'm gonna stop and restart. There. Okay. We're back. Okay. So, continuing.
I did. It was.
You did, like,
it was
highlight
a good,
and
It was a good MegaCon.
summary?
It was well,
You
just
did
because
that.
when I say it was low key, I mean like. At least as far as I know, nothing huge, like dramatically happened. Like really, ever since 2016, when what went down in 2016 happened, ever since I've just been like, oh, it's good to go to MegaCon and not have a breakdown. Like a full-on breakdown. It's good. I had a great time at MegaCon 2016, but I did have a breakdown on Friday night. So anytime I go to MegaCon and I don't have a breakdown, it's a good improvement.
Okay, Xaranda.
Highlight of the weekend?
Highlight of the weekend and summary of the weekend.
Isn't okay. Highlight of the weekend was probably MegaCon Saturday.
Yeah.
Just as a whole.
As a whole.
Because Inukag and then it turned out so good.
Mm-hmm.
I was so happy with how Inukag turned out. I was happy with how the secret cosplay worked out. It was good.
Summary for the weekend.
Summary for the weekend. There's only 364 days till next MegaCon.
Well,
365. Whatever. Maybe less than
well, I
that.
was also gonna say we don't.
We
really-
don't know.
MegaCon in September
Well, yeah.
in Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tampa Bay MegaCon.
Yeah.
That too, but
We don't go
Nobody-
there.
We're fake MegaCon.
We don't go there.
we don't go here.
Yeah, we don't go there. Well, didn't you go once?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
went
you
once,
did.
but only because my mom wanted to go. Could really care less. It was fun though. But highlight of the weekend is or no, summary of the weekend is
Yep.
I didn't know what told me there was a Thumbelino looming right over me.
summary of the weekend is good.
Oh, can I also
Is
say another highlight
good.
of the weekend was Cards Against Humanity?
Yes! Okay, because I was gonna get to that, so my turn. So,
When's the next Megacon?
right. I need to know. So, highlight of the whole weekend for me was definitely like the Cards Against Humanity game was one of my favorite things that happened.
It was so good.
Like
It was
just
so
all of
fun.
everybody coming together and having a good time.
Yeah,
Like I
literally
know
everybody in the room was playing.
I didn't film it, but that was mostly just because like I was trying to enjoy being in the moment and not like
Yeah.
stress Karsyn or Jazz or Kathleen out
Yeah.
with my camera because they're not too familiar with it. But they were really chill about me filming the whole weekend, so I'm glad I'm glad I didn't weird them out like that. But the Cards Against Humanity one was a huge highlight. Pulling off Wolfred Lady Noir was so good.
Artie's reaction
Another.
was
yeah,
so
it was
good.
so pure
Another
and so
highlight.
great. Doing and pulling off all 5 of my new cosplays and having them look great was
Yeah, all weekend
the
you've been like, I
biggest
look
move.
so good. And I'm like, yes, queen.
that
Live
self-confidence.
that confidence.
That self-confidence comes really only for when I can pull out good cosplays, and then every now and then when I'm like not cosplaying, but I'm living. We had real good cosplays this year, so I was really happy with how they turned out, and especially since I didn't really do makeup tests for them. I mean, I did the wigs and everything, but I didn't really like makeup test and try on the full cosplay. I put on the cosplay for Kagome and Yurichio, so I knew that those were going to be good because I was just so happy in them, and I was happy with the wigs, so I knew that it was all going to come together really well, and they did, so I'm really happy about that. The summary for the whole weekend is I'm love, my friends.
I'm in love.
When's the next Megacon? Let's make next year better than this one.
Let's make next year banging.
Can I say one last thing before we sign off?
Go for it.
You were red, and you liked me because I was blue.
Go.
You touched me, and suddenly I was a lilac sky. And then you decided purple just wasn't for you.
Oh my god.
It's Colors by Halsey,
Oh.
but it's with the Laura.
Oh.
So another thing I did want to say about Megacon this year, and I'm gonna be honest here. There was a lot of drama surrounding Megacon this year, and it
Yeah.
stressed me out a lot. Like, so if at all during the vlogs I seem like I'm off, that's why. And I'd rather be honest with you nerds and let you know that that is why I was super. If I didn't film as much as I think I did, then it was because of that. Because, and without going into too many details, like, people were going to come this year and they weren't able to, which is not anyone's fault. It's not anybody's fault, and I'm not like mad about it or really upset. I'm just like, oh, I wish it could have happened, you know? Like, and then there was a lot of drama surrounding the room and that whole situation.
You know, the Universal Bread Makers.
So,
Yeah, the builder show.
and then there was like issues with sleep schedules, I guess is the best way to word it. So that was a little stressful. But other than that, like, and I really wish we could have hung out with Kathleen and Karsyn more.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get a chance to do that. So
They were cool.
they were really great, and I understand that, like, you know, we're not all close with them, but hopefully this kind of warms them up to us. So
Great contact.
welcome. So, but overall, it was a really good weekend. Like, I'm glad I had this, and technically I have a break. Oh my god. It's Fiona from Shrek 4.
Oh my god. Wow.
Doll. It's lit. Okay, so before like we finish off, if this is where we're finishing off, I don't know, we'll find out. But this was a really good year, and I'm really excited for next year. Hopefully, you know, one of these years, hopefully, Alex is going to be able to come down.
Yes.
Please.
Please.
Please come to Florida and con with us, and we can do an Expo OSS together, and it'll be wonderful and great.
Yes.
Then,
Oh.
then, what else? So for, let's see what else. What was I gonna say? I don't remember. I have nothing else to say, I think. So I'm just gonna stop here. We'll see if I end up filming more later. If I don't, then this is the end. If I don't film anything more, then the next convention, I have no idea what it is, to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't even know that I'll be able to do more cons.
Might be
Up
Megacon
until-
2019.
My next con might be Holiday Matsuri in December, if I decide to go. If not, then, you know, it doesn't happen. And it might be Megacon next year. I don't know. It's kind of difficult now that adult life is coming up, and I'm gonna have to pull off a teaching job. I have to get time off for conventions and stuff. If I do anything else, it might be like, I don't know, we'll see.
Well,
But I'm sure you'll see all of these nerds sometime soon in other things. Yeah. So, talk to y'all nerds later. Bye.